And we are back for round 3. This time we lost the die roll, but my hand is great, especially on the draw. I do have a bunch of 2-drops. It seems like a very good hand to have on draw. And the opponent mulled, so it seems like we are really on a luck strike there. All opponent mulled, had bad draws. I've been drawing Chandra every single game, so yeah. I've been quite lucky so far. Which, you know, I will not complain about, but it is what it is. I could have expedited a creature that my opponent could have played, but it seems like nothing of that sort is happening. So we're playing a blue-black deck apparently. Yup, it seems so. You might see some sort of cultivator drone, but it is a sky spawner. Sure. Don't like that too much, but I guess I'll attack with loaded drone. If we trade, well, it's mildly annoying because the opponent gets a token out of it, but I guess it's not too bad either. Anyway, I'll play my familiar and start beating down in the air. Alright. I think we are getting it for 1, and afterwards the opponent might play another land, sacrifice a Cyan, and play some sort of 5-drop. That could be likely to happen, or just a 4-drop of the Cyan. Alright, a comparative analysis, and they still missed on land. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like I'm on a really lucky day today, which is nice, but you know. It's not always like that. Sometimes I do miss my land drop and I do get tossed on my neck. Steinway Decay. Alright, so I think the Malakir Familiar is not untapping, which is fine. I do have 2 removals in hand, so I don't feel too concerned about most things that could come out. Alright, I might have to devour these. Actually, I don't, because I have an immobilizer, so I don't actually care about that thing. That being said, I will just cast my Cinder Hellion, so I can start beating down next turn. And unless my opponent plays something that I want to kill, I will most likely use the immobilizer ability and swing in for 8. Which seems like a good thing to do. Hellion is just nice. I mean, I think people are a bit underrating this card. I mean, it's never gonna be, whoa, it's amazing, great, Hellion, but I've never been disappointed by this. Even if it dies straight away, you still get the 2 damages, the body is good, the trample is often relevant in this set with a bunch of 1/1 tokens. It just feels great. This is not a defender, it's good attack. But I don't think my opponent wants to do that, obviously. So, I could kill that, which would spare me the use of 3 mana each turn. Maybe I want to do that. Or I could just use the immobilizer ability. I think my opponent does have some sort of bounce spell in hand. I would assume that my Hellion is gonna get put on the top of my library. Alright, let's begin combat first. See if we get tapped by a Grief of the Roll or something along those lines. Or maybe a adverse condition. And afterwards use the ability, because if you use it first and your creatures get tapped, well, you kinda look like a fool. And here we might see a bounce on the Hellion, I would assume. A disregard on the bat. Alright, sure. I don't mind that too much. I could have killed the Drifter. This would be a decent tempo play, but honestly, we are in sealed. I don't want to die to stupid bomb rares. Sure, and that thing is not blocking anything yet. So yeah, I think I'll... Oh, alright, that might change up things actually. Because I cannot use the ability and play the free runner, so now I think I will devour that in flame, get back my mountain, and surge the other dude. Alright, I can even cast it for the full amount if I really want to do so. Alright, well, things are looking decent. If I ever draw a land, I'll get to play a rune processor, which is sweet. If I draw spells, it's obviously great. So yeah, things are shaping up quite well. I do have a removal for most things. I like to read text sometimes. So it's Omnixilis. Take what solace you can in the knowledge that you will not be here to witness Zendikar demise. Well, I'm not sure I fully understand the meaning of that. I actually don't know what solace mean, really. Yep, my English is far from being good enough. But I'll try to find out what that does mean at some point. As the opponent seems to be chilling on his main phase, deciding whether they want to play something or some other thing. I guess we will not see Sphinx, a Guardian of Tazim, the 4/5 flying Sphinx that taps creature, because they would have played the lands afterward. So what is it gonna be? A Shrieker. Well, that can block my creatures, unlike some other things. Given that I drew an Oblivion Strike, I think I feel fine grasping that to be able to continue to attack. Again, one of my creatures could be bounced on the top of my library, but you know, there's not much I can do. And now the opponent is in very much trouble. Witness the end. Alright, I think my opponent just wants information for next round, but I think they are pretty dead there. Unless they play a Swamp and play Flaying Tendrils, which would completely wreck me actually. Alright, well, you know that I do have a strike and a processor now, if that can help you. Yeah, honestly, if my opponent does have the board sweeper, the 3-mana board sweeper, whether it be Radiant Flame of a mountain or Tendrils of a swamp, I'll be not in the best shape, but I guess it's gonna be game. Alright, so blue-black control, I would assume. Blue-black Eldrazi control seems to be my opponent's deck. This is the kind of matchup where I think Free Runner is much better than Null Caller. The only thing I could see myself doing is adding Brute Strength or Sinkhole to be more aggressive, but I don't think it's good enough. I think I'd rather keep my deck the way it is. I can also win the late game with those Eldrazi and Chandra, so it's not like... The good news with my deck is that it's rather aggressive, but has enough removal and powerful spell that I can still win the late game if, you know, if we come to that. And again, I don't think I'm really interested in actually changing anything, so I'm gonna submit that. Alright, well, the deck has performed quite well so far, but obviously the fact that my opponent had a lot of trouble drawing their land and not mulliganing helped a lot, that's for sure. Right. Well, that hint is not too exciting, but I think it's still a keep. It has 4 lands and 3 decent spells that I can cast. Could use a 2-drop obviously, but yeah, it's definitely a keeper. Ooh, we are playing a green deck now, so the opponent made changes. Green might match better against my red-black deck, because I only have Oblivion Strike as an unconditional removal, And I will have trouble dealing with big creature most of the time. A Sky Spawner, well, that's not great for my Obligator. And since I drew a colorless land, I think I'm even less tempted to cast it on turn 3 than I was before. Guess I'll go to 17 there, most likely cast a Vestige next turn. And hopefully... Okay, the opponent missed a land drop there again. It's really my lucky day. I mean, my Vestige might get countered, which would be annoying, but fine. I mean, if my opponent does have a Spell Shrivel or an Horribly Awry, it's fine. Okay, Spell Shrivel. Pretty much what I expected. Not sure why, but it felt like a a counter spell. And now that the opponent counter my thing and hit his 4-land and play a Lagak, well, things are not looking good for me anymore. At all. Yeah. Because I'll go to 12 there, and then the Sky Spawner is a 4-turn clock. Ooh, I drew Familiar. Familiar was probably the best deck of my the best draw of my entire deck, given that otherwise I would have had to cast that to be able to search a Goblin, most likely to have some defensive, but defenses. But now I can do that and not die to the flyer, not die to the 3/1. Most likely take 2 from the Scion, bearing some annoying things like a bounce spell or a tap creature spell or whatever. And at this point I don't think I can afford to... I kinda wanna play offensively given the Obligator, but I don't think I can really afford to do that anymore, unfortunately. A Warden of Geometry is sure. A Grasp. So, one play I can make is stealing my opponent token, so they either have to sacrifice it, or I take it and sacrifice it. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Steal that, it will die either way, and then I have a blocker for the Warden. Yeah. It's not extremely exciting, but I don't want to trade my free runner for either of those things. So, alright, that's not how you really want to use the Obligator, but sometime you might have to do such things. And I think it's my best play. Alright, they did that. Pretty much what I expected. The good news is that I don't have to pay the mana now, so I can play my free runner. And therefore I will actually attack. So I think my opponent should actually have let me steal that, because it uses my mana. And the outcome is basically the same, so I'm not sure why they sacrificed it, because the 2/2 would not be able to deal damage given the Warden anyway, so weird. Anyway, I think it worked out better for me, so I will not complain. I guess I'll take the damages there, it's a bit annoying, but currently I'm beating my opponent in any kind of race. If we see a Tajo password in there, I will... Alright, well, pretty much what I expected once again. I'll grasp it and beat down with the squad. I'm winning this race, so I'm fine. The issue is that my opponent is likely to play another 5 or threatening 5 or 6 drop, and I don't have anything left for that, so yeah, that's the problem. Another password is gonna... yeah, it's gonna mean game over. Unless I top deck another removal spell or a Chandra or any nonsense of that sort. Guess I'll attack there. It seems that my opponent is missing a 6 land drop. Maybe they have a bunch of cards in hand though. Taking 6, alright. Well, I cannot get Shriveled anymore, which is the good news. Might get Horribly Awry. No Horribly Awry, okay, sure. Maybe a bounce spell there? Oh, maybe an end of turn analysis. Yeah, I think that's what my opponent is likely to do there. Maybe a Vile Redeemer, a Dimensional Infiltrator. Well, that is a bit annoying, but sure. I'm still winning the race, so I don't even mind that too much. A Pulse of Murata, alright, yeah, that's gonna mean game over. Because now I cannot raise my opponent anymore, and I do have to deal with both Pass Warden and Infiltrator, so yup, I think it should seal the deal. And actually my opponent was not missing a 6 mana because they had the Warden, and I'm actually even dead to Sky Spawner. Whoa. So my actually they took the Sky Spawner, not the Warden, never mind. And that makes more sense. I guess it's better if I top deck Chandra here. If I top deck Chandra, it's gonna be a slaughter. Alright. Good lord. Good lord. That's so dumb. That's really dumb. My opponent can pick up the Infiltrator back in hand, but if they do that, they still cannot attack next turn, so Chandra being there when you need her. Pretty much the summary of the whole sealed so far. So yeah, let's -1. My Obligator is gonna die in the process, but I could have attacked before, but now I can attack with Freerunner and deal 3, so I don't think it matters too much. My opponent can pick back the Infiltrator, obviously, which is mildly annoying, but yeah, I mean, now I should be able to win that race. I mean, I did not win yet, because definitely did not win yet, and I cannot attack with that because I needed to block the Warden. They got a Deathless Behemoth, so it's not gonna leave. Okay. Well, that's a good news for me. I mean, I would have been happy to draw the Behemoth, but sure. Alright, well, Chandra, when you call her, she responds quite efficiently. Bursting Hulk. Alright, well, that's pretty annoying. So I could -1 once again. Then my opponent could regenerate the Hulk. And then I would have to chump it. But if my opponent does attack with Hulk, if I make 2/3/1 and swing in with everything, my opponent double blocks here, block. Yeah, I don't think making token is great. I could draw 2, but I think I actually like just killing the token there. Alright. And once again, I guess my opponent will regenerate the Hulk there, which is fine. I mean, sure. Feel free to do so. And go down to 5. I still do have 2 blockers. And Floater Drone is nice because it forces my opponent to regenerate. And yup, that should seal the deal. Chandra has done quite a good work this game. I mean, that top deck was sick, that's for sure. An Oath of Nissa. Well, that will probably provide my opponent with a decent creature. An island. Well, that did not get lucky there, I would assume. Don't think that was the thing they were looking for, especially since there's no 3 blue cards in the set, and that they also already have 4, actually 3 blue. So an island and maybe another land. I don't really know. I guess we shall see. If my opponent does attack with both, they are straight up dead, so they cannot afford to do that. We might see another creature there, though. A Path Warden. Alright, sure. So, if I put 2 tokens, attack with everything, then my opponent can block the 2 tokens with those, block the slaughter drone with that, take a 4 and go to 1. I think I'd rather draw 3 cards there. Yeah, that seems better than putting my opponent down to 1 and losing my Chandra afterwards. Alright, well, Rune Processor is not bad at all. Definitely, maybe I should have kept my land in hand in case I were to use Chandra again. Kinda wanna be able to use that though. Alright. And next turn, I think that by casting that, boosting this, and putting 3 token, I should win. A creature would change up that Tide Drifter. But I think just making this 2 power is enough to kill my opponent actually. Well, Brute Strength will definitely make that enough. If it is not yet. But I think I don't even needed the Brute Strength. Because now, actually my opponent could take those 2. But actually given the menace ability on that, no, I think I didn't need the Brute Strength. I don't think there's any block that saved my opponent there. Because this will get through because of menace. If they double block on it, they don't have enough blocker for the rest of the things, and then they have to take at least one of my 2 power creatures. Okay, that's gonna be game. Well, that was a pretty efficient top deck. I hope you enjoyed the match. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe if you did, and I see you guys for round 4.